Have you ever worked so hard on something that everyone told you was impossible that you started to believe them? This is the story of a woman who lost her husband, her home, a whole reputation, went from sleeping in her car to building a $60 mil company just for years. Her name was Helena. If you have ever felt like quitting, this story will change everything you believe about success. Before we begin, what team are you listening right now? Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below and let me know. And please like and subscribe for more stories like this. A quiet coastal town where fishing boats lined the harbor and opportunities were as rare as clear skies in winter, there lived a 34-year-old woman named Helena Vasquez. Helena was not born into poverty. Her father was a school teacher, her mother a nurse. They were comfortable, stable, hardworking people who believed in education and safety. Helena became a pharmacist. She married her college sweetheart. They bought a small house with a white picket fence. Life was exactly what her parents had hoped for. But Helena was not happy. She spent her days counting pills and her nights dreaming of something mighty. She wanted to create, to build, to leave a mark on the world that was bigger than a prescription label. At 29, Helena used her savings to open a small bakery. She loved baking. It was her escape, her passion. She made sourdough bread that her friends said could change lives. She thought she had found her calling. She had not. Within 6 months, the bakery closed. She lost $22,000. Her husband said, "It's okay, honey. Come home. We figure it out." Not everyone is meant to run a business. But Helena could not let it go. She felt like going back to the pharmacy would be admitting defeat. At 30, she tried again. In a health supplement store. She spent 8 months building a website, sourcing products, creating content. 16 customers in total. Total revenue, $420. A complete failure. At 31, she started a meal prep delivery service for busy families. She worked 18-hour days, delivered food herself, begged for reviews. Within 4 months, she had 150 recurring customers. She thought it was finally working. Then a national chain entered her market, undercut her prices by 40%. Within 3 months, all her customers were gone. She lost $31,000. At 32, a fitness coaching aplicativo. At 33, an eco-friendly cleaning product line. At 34, a children's educational toy subscription box. Each failure bigger, more expensive, more humiliating than the last. Total losses over 5 years, $147,000. Her marriage crumbled under the weight of the debt and the constant disappointment. Her husband left. He said he could not watch her destroy their future anymore. People started to talk. Helena Vasquez. She is the one who can't hold on to anything. Another business. That is number 6 now. Her poor mother. Imagine having a daughter who just throws money away. Her friends, who had climbed corporate ladders and bought vacation homes and sent their children to private schools, stopped returning her calls. She was a cautionary tale, a warning to anyone who dreamed too big. Helena felt the weight of their judgment, but worse than that, she felt her own voice turning against her. Late at night, Alone in her apartment, she would whisper till the ceiling, maybe they he right, maybe Yemi not an entrepreneur, maybe Yemi just stubborn and delusional. Her savings were gone, her credit was destroyed. She had borrowed money from family who now avoided her Achi gatherings. Achi 35, her seventh business, a boutique event planning company, collapsed in spectacular fashion. She had rented a small office, hired an assistant, signed contracts with vendors. Within 5 months, a major economic downturn hit. Corporate clients canceled their events. Weddings were postponed. She could not make rent. She could not pay her assistant. The landlord changed the locks. The vendors threatened to sue. Her assistant quit, angry and unpaid. Helena, for the first time in her life, declared personal bankruptcy. At 35 years old, Helena moved into her car, a 10-year-old Honda Civic with 140,000 miles on it. She parked behind a 24-hour gym where she showered for free. She ate ramen noodles in granola bars. She applied for jobs, any jobs, and was rejected from all of them. She was overqualified for entry-level positions and too tainted for management roles. One night, sitting in her car in a Walmart parking lot, staring at the rejection emails on her phone, Helena made a decision. One more, she whispered. Just one more try. If I fail again, I will give up forever. I will accept that I am not meant for this. But I need one more chance to prove to myself, more than anyone, that I can do something. But this time she knew she could not do it alone. Helena needed capital, but no bank would lend till an 8-time failed entrepreneur with bankruptcy on her record. So she did something humiliating. She took a job as a night cleaner at a business complex. Every night from 10 policial militar till 6 a.m., she scrubbed toilets, emptied trash cans, mopped floors. Every night she watched successful people leave their offices, briefcases in hand, heading home to families in houses and lives she once had. Every night she went back to her car feeling like a ghost. One morning, as she was finishing her shift, a woman in her 50s approached her in the hallway. The woman was the CEO of a logistics company that occupied the entire top floor. Her name was Margaret Chen. She had seen Helena working for weeks. She had noticed that the cleaning lady was different. Helena cleaned meticulously, but she also left notches. Your printer needs toner. The conference room Wi-Fi is weak. Your receptionist might need a new chair. Little observations that showed she was paying attention. Margaret asked Helena to step into her office. Helena hesitated, embarrassed by her uniform, her tired eyes, the smell of cleaning products on her hands. But she went. How long have you been a cleaner? Margaret asked. 3 months, Helena said quietly. Before that, I was a pharmacist. Then I started businesses. 7 of them. All failed. I lost everything. Margaret leaned forward. What kind of businesses? Helena hesitated, then told her. Each failure, each loss, each humiliation. Margaret smiled. Do you know what I see? She said. I see someone who has tried 7 chimes. Most people don't try once. I failed many chimes before my first success. Lost my marriage, lost my house, lost custody of my daughter for 3 years. But on attempt number 10, something changed. Helena's eyes widened. Nini Chimes. This powerful woman sitting in a corner office had failed Nini Chimes. What changed? Helena asked. I learned 3 things, Margaret said. 3 laws that turned me from a serial failure into someone who could build something here. If you are serious about trying again, I mean truly serious, not just desperate, meet me tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. outside this building. I will teach you what I learned, but only if you are ready to actually learn instead of just repeat the same mistakes. Helena did not sleep that night. The next morning at 4:45 a.m., Helena stood outside the building in the dark. Margaret arrived at 5. You early. That's the first sign you might actually make it this time. Margaret led Helena into her office, a space filled with photos of successful ventures and awards and a single frame on the wall with a list of many failed businesses. Each one crossed out. I keep that till remember, Margaret said. Now let me teach you the 3 laws that turn my failures into a foundation. Margaret drew a simple diagram on a whiteboard. Tell me about your 7 failures, not the external reasons. Competition, bad timing, lack of capital. Tell me what you did wrong each time. Helena thought for a moment, then began. I jumped into ideas without research. I did not understand my customers. I ran out of money before gaining traction. Stop, Margaret said. You just described the same mistake 7 times with different words. She circled a phrase on the board. Passion without preparation. Helena, imagine you are flying a plane. You are excited about the destination, the view, the feeling of soaring, but you skip the flight plan. You skip the weather check. You skip the maintenance inspection. You just take off because you are passionate. She drew a plane crashing. Every time the plane falls, every time you blame the weather, the airport, the passengers, but the real problem, no preparation. Law 1, study before you start. Before your next attempt, spend 90 days learning everything about the industry, the market, the competition. Not 90 days, 90 days. Most people fail because they confuse excitement with expertise. Helena wrote frantically in a notebook Margaret handed her. Why did all your businesses fail so quickly? Margaret asked. I ran out of money, lost motivation, customers did not call me fast enough. Exactly, because you expected success in 6 months. Let me tell you a secret that will save your life. Any business worth building takes 24 months minimum to show real traction. She wrote large numbers on the board. Months 1 till 8, learning is suffering. Months 9 till 16, small progress, is still struggling. Months 17 till 24, breakthrough begins. Months 25 and beyond, growth accelerates. Law 2, commit till 24 months, not 6 months, not until you run out of money. Not until you get discouraged. "24 months of showing up every single day, even when it looks like nothing is working. Can you do that?" Helena felt the weight of that question. 24 months. She had never stuck with anything for 24 months. "I can," she said quietly. "Your 7th business was event planning. Do you know why it failed?" "I lost clients." "No, you tried to offer everything. Corporate events, weddings, birthdays, conferences, product launches. You were a full-service company, which means you were mediocre at everything and excellent at nothing." Margaret drew a single arrow. Law 3, do one thing better than everyone else. Not 10 things, one thing extraordinarily well. Become so good at one specific service that people cannot ignore you. Margaret closed her notebook. Helena, I am going to give you 3 months of free mentorship. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m., you comiere. I will teach you how to research, plan, and build a foundation. Then you will choose one service, one industry, and become the absolute best at each. And then you will commit till 24 months no matter what happens. She leaned forward. But if you quit before 24 months, do not ever contact me again because I do not waste time on people who waste their own potential. Deal. Helena extended her hand. Deal. For the next 3 months, Helena's life changed completely. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m., Helena met Margaret. They studied market research, analyzed successful businesses, dissected Helena's previous failures to extract lessons. Helena chose her focus, warehouse inventory optimization software for mid-sized logistics companies. One service, one industry, nothing else. She spent 90 days learning everything. Warehouse management systems, supply chain logistics, inventory turnover rates, competitor platforms, customer pain points. She did not start the business yet, she just learned it. Her mother thought she was wasting time. Another 3 months of no income, but Helena remembered foundation before building. In month 4, Helena launched Logitrack Pro, inventory optimization software exclusively for mid-sized logistics companies. No website, no office, no employees, just Helena, a laptop, and a specific promise. I will reduce your inventory holding costs by 20% in 6 months or you do not pay. Her first client, a small warehouse with 50 employees, $2,000 a month. Her mother cried. Finally, some income. But Helena knew this was just the beginning. 24 months she had committed. Month 5, one client, $2,000 a month, barely enough to survive. Month 6, 2 clients, $4,000 a month. Month 7, 3 clients, $6,000 a month. Month 8, lost 2 clients, back to 2,000. Helena's mother confronted her. 8 months, you are making $2,000 a month. This is the same pattern. You need to stop. Helena felt the old doubt creeping in. Maybe her mother was right. Maybe this was just failure number 8. But she remembered Margaret's words. Months 1 till 8, learning is suffering. She was on track. This was supposed to be Hajj. Month 9, 4 clients, $8,000 a month. Month 10, 5 clients, $10,000. Month 11, 7 clients, 14,000. Month 12, mini clients, 18,000. Each issue was not enough to move out your payback debts, but something was different. The clients were staying. They were getting results. Word was spreading. Month 14, a regional logistics company hired her for $5,000 a month. Helena nearly cried when the contract was signed. Month 15, the company referred 3 others. Suddenly, $30,000 a month. Month 16, $50,000 a month. Helena hired her first employee. Month 18, $100,000 a month. She rented her first small office. Month 20, she hired 5 more employees. Exactly 24 months after launching, Helena landed her biggest client yet, a national shipping company that paid $20,000 a month for her software. Total monthly revenue, $250,000. She sat in her small office, the same woman who had slept in her car 2 years earlier, called Margaret. 24 months, Helena said, her voice breaking. You were right. Margaret laughed. Now the real work begins. With proven results in testimonials, growth accelerated. Year 3, $3 million in annual revenue, hired 20 employees. Year 4, $15 million in revenue, moved into a corporate headquarters, paid back all debts. Her mother finally smiled e wept at the same time. Year 5, Logitech Pro hit $60 million in annual revenue, 200 employees, offices in 5 cities, featured in industry magazines. Helena, now 41 years old, stood on stage at a national technology conference sharing her story. At the conference, a young entrepreneur approached Helena during the break. Ms. Vasquez, I have failed 3 times. Should I try again? Helena smiled. How badly do you want it? I want it more than anything. Then yes, but let me tell you what no one else will. Failure is not a detour, it is the road. People think successful entrepreneurs are the ones who never failed. The truth is, we are the ones who failed the most but did not quit. I failed 7 times before I met my mentor, but those 7 failures taught me 7 expensive lessons. When I started business number 8, I did not make the same 7 mistakes. I made new ones, but I learned from those too. If you are going to try again, remember 3 things. First, study before you start. Passion without preparation is just expensive hop. Spend 90 days learning your market, your customers, your competition. Build the foundation. Second, commit to 24 months. Not until you feel like quitting. Not until money is low. 24 full months of daily work. Most businesses do not fail. Most people quit during the suffering period before success arrives. Third, master one thing. Do not be mediocre at everything. Be extraordinary at one specific thing. Become so good they cannot ignore you. It is what I learned from my 9 failures. Actually, 10, because my 8th attempt was technically my 10th, including that sourdough bakery. The audience laughed. Failure is only permanent if you stop. Every successful business is built on a graveyard of failed attempts. The difference between success and failure is not talent. Each is not luck. Each is not even hard work. She paused for impact. Each is simply this. Showing up one more time than you fell down. Helena visited Margaret's office one last time before the old woman retired. Thank you, Helena said simply. You saved my life. Margaret shook her head. No, Helena. I just taught you what you already had inside. The ability to keep going. You saved yourself. I just showed you the path, my friend. If you are watching this video, maybe you failed. Maybe you failed multiple times. Maybe people told you to give up. Let Helena's story be your permission to try again. But this time, do it differently. Study for 90 days before starting. Commit to 24 months no matter what. Master one specific thing extraordinarily well. I cannot promise you will build a $60 million business, but I can promise this. If you apply these 3 laws, you will get farther than you ever have before. And maybe, just maybe, attempt number 8 or 9 or 10 will be the one that changes everything. If this story gave you the courage to try one more time, hit that like button right now as your commitment. Not tell me, tell yourself. Drop a comment. I am on attempt number 6. Let us see how many people in this community are still fighting. We are all in this together. Share this video with someone who is about to give up. Maybe it is the message that keeps them going one mighty day. And subscribe to this channel because every week I bring you stories of people who failed, persisted, and won. You are not alone in this fight. Remember Elena Escigioni, 7 failures, bankruptcy, homelessness, humiliation, and then $60 million. The only difference between her 7th failure and her 8th success was not luck. Each was 3 laws in 24 months of refusing to quit. Your breakthrough is not as far away as you think. Keep going.